started out life in a foster home and then was blessed to be adopted by my mom and dad, Jim and Judy Husted, who provided me a great start in life and taught me good values, hard work, personal responsibility, family and faith, all of those things that are important in life. I learned them because I was blessed to be adopted by wonderful people.
Yeah. Wow. That is pretty neat. Now, you have then gone on to serve the state of Ohio as lieutenant governor. I'm guessing you've probably had a chance to impact adoption in Ohio. Yes? How
Yeah,
have you had a
yeah.
chance to do that?
Well, it's interesting. I was working on a piece of legislation when so I always knew I was adopted, and then, but I didn't know the circumstances around it until much later in life. I was working on a piece of adoption legislation to do tax credits and to help make it more financially feasible for people to adopt. We don't want cost to be a burden in helping a young person find a forever home. And the people from the adoption agency asked me, they said, well, do you know anything about your birth mother? Do you know anything about your parents, your birth parents? I said, no, I really don't know anything. And they said, well, would you like to find out? And I'd always been reluctant to do that because as a little kid, I was like, well, that's not really right. I don't want my mom and dad to think that I'm interested in this. But then as I got older and my wife was talking about my wife about, the fact that for health reasons, we may want to know a little bit more about it, the origin. Um, I said, sure, let's go do this. And what I learned was a pretty dramatic story that makes me feel even more blessed every day. That my birth mother had lost her husband in Vietnam, and she already had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old children, boys, and she became pregnant from another man, and then he didn't want her to have that baby. He didn't want her to have me. He wanted her to have an abortion. And she decided ultimately to have an adoption. And because of her courageous decision, I'm here. I got to have this life because of what she did. And so that really just affected my heart even more to do more to help young people find forever homes.